Hey, it's Beck here with another video. Today I'm making a very special video. In this video we're going to be calculating the stats for each type of unit in Stronghold Crusader. So we're going to go over the speed, the base damage that the unit can do to an opponent, the base defense or health of the unit, and the base damage that they can do to fortifications such as walls or castle towers. So, yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright, so as you can see, we are now in Stronghold Crusader, and I have set up different trials to show the stats for the different characters. So we already have all of the units right here. This is going to be the speed test to see how fast they can get from here to there, and we can calculate based on that. Then we have a tower for the orange team that we can have each unit go to destroy to see how much damage they do per second to the fortification. And finally the defense test, where we will have our one archer shoot at the opponent, and every single time that they shoot will be one base defense. So I already know this one specifically. I tested this, and pikemen have exactly 50, they can get shot 50 times before they die. So they basically have 50 health, and that's how we're going to be basing this. So after 50 shots, then he finally will die. Okay, as you can see, that was 50 shots if you were counting. But yeah, let's figure out everything else. So, now we know like the base stat for the pikemen. And so we're basically going to be using the shot from an archer as the base damage. So we're going to test each unit individually.
Instructions!
That's 5. So Archer is 5. And Pikeman we already know is 50. So Siege Engineer.
How can we help?
Siege Engineer is 3. Alright, so let's hit a time lapse.
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Okay, so that's the last of the normal units. Now we're moving on to the unit speed test. This one's going to be confusing because I'm going to have them all go at the same time. But when I have to click for them to stop going at the same speed, then I'm going to have to rewind the video to see exactly how fast people go.
That's a fair distance.
So as you can see there, they all were going, well, a lot of them were going in groups because a few of the units have the same speed as each other. Like the two horse,
What needs doing?
the horseman and the horse archer, or the knight and the horse archer both go the same speed. The slow characters like the pikeman,
We stand ready.
the, where is he?
Yes.
The siege engineer with oil,
Giving me blisters.
and who was it? I don't know, one of the other characters are all of them go the same speed. So I'll just calculate based on that. Alright, now we just have to figure out the amount of damage that these units can do to a fortification. Let's start with Spearsmen.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Alright, so that's that. For the damage test, we're going to be using a pikeman because they have the highest defense for the lowest attack, so therefore they're the best to use to test this. Granted, the units that I'm going to be testing out won't be able to kill it because they're weaker than it. So we're starting with a spearsman because we already know it takes 50 shots from an archer, seeing that we already tested defense.
To create a song, I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on. See the horizon turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon turn us to thousands.
Alright, so that is all of the units that we're going to be testing. I have now completed all of my calculations and math and all that, and I have come to the conclusion that this was a pain in the neck. So, basically, the strongest character base damage-wise is the swordsman. I mean, that was kind of straightforward. We would have known that. The fastest character is tied between the horse archer, 13 seconds. So, by the way, this is how I'm basing it off of. So, the speed is however many seconds they were able to run 100 blocks, because the length that they ran was 100 blocks exactly. So in 100, or in this many seconds, they were able to run 100 blocks, so then it would be point whatever per, like, block. Seconds per block. So the horse archers and the knights were the same speed, tied at 13. For the highest defense, it's the strongest is swordsman. Swordsman is strongest by far, comparatively, defensively, and offensively. But it's also the slowest in the entire game, so, I mean, that means a lot. And then the amount of damage that characters can do to fortresses and stuff, the highest is a monk, surprisingly. And then slightly followed by pikesmen and slaves. And slaves is amazing because slaves are the most garbage character in the game. It took 306 seconds for them to kill a pikeman, and also the fact that they are literally 8 times weaker than a spearsman. For every one spearsman, they are stinging 8 times better than stinging slaves. It's absurd. But yeah, overall, then obviously I based this a lot on like how they use their attacks and stuff and like special abilities and stuff. So based on like the fact that they are this fast, they have this much attack, whatever, I'll use spearsmen because they have pretty much everything. They have the speed, damage, defense. They're able to do damage to buildings. They can climb on walls, so this is whether or not they can climb on top of a wall. This is whether or not they can fill in a moat. Then this is whether they are like a special attacking, like a special ability. And then this is whether they are special, ranged, or basic. So spearsmen are basic attackers, archers are ranged, and then things like engineers with oil, fire throwers are special, tunnelers are special, and then anything that has SPC is up here also. So it's different. Like, so the engineer obviously has the ability to make siege weapons. Engineer with oil has the ability to make siege weapons and also can drop lava or oil. And then slaves can set buildings on fire. Assassins can turn invisible. Fire throwers throw fire. Laddersmen can use their ladders to get on top of buildings. And tunnelers can dig and destroy buildings like that. So, like, obviously, based on this, there's not really a conclusive best character, but there definitely are for if you want a specific job done. So the best character to fill in a moat would be a really high defense and and obviously with moat. So the only one that really works is pikesmen because pikesmen can fill in a moat. Yeah, and then they also have high defense. And then also on the plus side, once they actually get through the moat, then they're able to break down a wall pretty fast because they've got 8 in damage to fort per second. And then also another good one is slaves because their defense is garbage. They can literally get one shot by an archer, but they're super cheap. I should have made that also like the price that you pay to buy them. They're super cheap. I think they cost 5 gold. They have like pretty good speed, whatever. They have the ability to dig a moat. They can break down walls pretty fast also, so they're not actually that bad at all. And then there's obviously tons of different stats for everybody, so I'll actually leave a link to this if you want to like download it, and you can see all of the different like stats for the characters and pick whatever you want as your favorite one. I personally like the pikesman the best. It's not even stat-wise, I just like it aesthetically. It's the coolest character in my opinion. And honestly, the fact that it can do a lot of different things is nice. And then ranged-wise, horse archers are the fastest ranged characters. They can also shoot while they're riding, so therefore they don't have to stop. That makes them extremely overpowered compared to other ranged characters like our crossbowsmen and the archers. So overall, yeah, horse archers are really good. Macemen are really good. The pikesmen and macemen are actually like probably the best physical characters because macemen do the most damage for the best speed comparatively. Obviously, the swordsmen are the best, like, damage completely and best defense completely, but also they have the worst speed in the entire game. So it's kind of like you take a loss on speed, but you get a boost in defense. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, stay chill.